Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I've got one of the most popular micro brand watch releases of all time. This is the elusive Seaforth from Halios. Here is the Anthracite dial version with the gray bezel, loomed bezel, sapphire. Absolutely beautiful. And then we also have the blue variant with the steel 12-hour bezel, which also is likewise very sharp. So these watches, these Seaforths, are just incredibly hard to come by. Once they are released for sale, they usually sell out, I think, within 24 hours. And then the waiting game begins for them to be produced and to be shipped out. So these belong to my father. He jumped on the pre-order as soon as they became available. He couldn't decide which one he wanted, so he got a couple different versions, and he's let me try them out here and feature on the channel. These are really cool watches. I'm going to start by just kind of talking about this anthracite dial version. I love this color combination. It's basically like the Rolex Oyster Perpetual anthracite and the Yachtmaster when it comes to the grain of the gray and the accent of the turquoise. You can see Seaforth is done in turquoise, and then we also have a little bit of turquoise on the outside of each hour marker going around the dial. Let's get up close. Let me show you this on a macro level. Very nice execution. You can see the applied markers look very sharp. Everything is very clean, very well laid out. And my favorite feature is the matching date at the 6 o'clock position. Now, most watches are either going to have a black or a white date disc, but Halios is matching the dial color. So that's actually a gray date disc with white printing. And that's a great detail. That's something that we love to see as crazy watch fans. That's even present on the blue version here, which I'll drop in that picture of so you can see that date just actually matches very, very well. Now, the other thing that I have found very impressive about this watch is I think it's the perfect size. Now, I'll throw some dimensions here on the screen so you guys can see the nominal values. And then I'll also give you some wrist shots here. I think the proportions, they're just spot on. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's nice and thin. Most of the height is coming from that box sapphire crystal that's sitting proud of that sapphire bezel insert. So the dimensions and how it wears, I think, could not be any better. So I find that pretty impressive. Now, let me show you the blue one here. Let's focus in on this one for a minute. Very nice pastel color, and you can see the AR sheen on that crystal, the edges of the crystal. I think that looks very good. And I'll give you guys a sample of the bezel action. It's got good grip. It's nice and responsive. There is really no play in between positions. I think the bezel action is very nice. And let me give you guys a loom shot now so you can see both watches in low light. You can see that Halios is using Super Luminova BGW9. So there's a nice blue hue to this luminescence. It's not the most potent, but you know, it's nice to see as opposed to like C1, which you get with many other watches in this price category. Now, going back to this blue, like I said, there's a matching date wheel, and then the applied markers here are still metal, but you can see a nice dark finish that ties in well with the dark hour markers on the bezel and this rubber strap that I have it on. Both watches come with an additional strap. So this one is to be paired with the blue. Nice leather backing, signed, very well made. And then here's what comes on the anthracite. And it also has an additional rubber strap to place it on. So I can see the appeal to these watches. They're very sharp. The size is awesome. The execution is really well. Halios is using the ETA 2824-2 movement. So a nice Swiss movement to go in these very attractive watches. What would be the negative aspects to this piece? I don't think there is such thing as the perfect watch. I would say that you can hear the rotor noise fairly easily. I mean, obviously you're going to hear some rotor noise on any watch, but these just seem just a little bit louder than what I would expect. And when operating the crown, the winding action just feels a little bit more gritty than what I'm used to from an ETA 2824. So I'm kind of nitpicking there because they're very beautiful, very well-made watches. One suggestion for improvement is to offer a bracelet option for this watch because I think it would really shine on a bracelet. Now I'm showing you the Anthracite on a polished Milanese mesh from Stabe, a German-made mesh that I think looks really good. But I think this Seaforth would be even better with a good quality bracelet option from Halios. So, you know, when you're spending $700 on a watch, I think you should get a bracelet as opposed to an extra canvas or leather or a rubber strap. But that's just my own opinion. So in the end, I'm impressed with this watch. It's pretty cool. I see the draw. Lucky few out there that have these. They sell out quickly and they hold value on the secondary market. These things have been going for a little bit over $700, which is what they originally sold for. So kudos to you if you got your hands on one. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.